In every web development project, there comes a time when we have our controllers, we have our models, and now we would like to check if the data that our controllers return is actually the data that we want and has the correct structure. And the best way to do this is by writing unit tests. One benefit of this is that we have full control of the data that we get and the data that we return. But also, we can incorporate this into our CI/CD pipeline, and that way we get instant feedback whenever some other feature makes our test fail and therefore breaks our code. Hello, my name is Marcin and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be looking about asserting JSON responses from our Spring Boot controllers. And for this, we need nothing more than Spring Boot Web and JUnit or any other unit test runner. Are you ready? Let's go! Here we have a POM of our project. It contains only the necessary dependencies, the Spring Boot Starter Web, Lombok for conveniently creating constructors, and the test dependency added by Spring Boot. And our application today will be a simple nutrition calculator in which the user can provide a nutrition request with a list of ingredients and the amount of total servings. Each ingredient has a name and a weight, and our controller then will calculate the amount of kilocalories per each serving. All the calculation will be done by the nutrition service, which has one more dependency, a nutrition information provider, and this is basically a functional interface with one method, getNutritionInformation, in which it maps the name to an information structure. So, knowing all this, let's go to our tests. Let's start. This will be a mock web MVC test, which means that Spring for us will instantiate all the controllers. It will not instantiate the HTTP server, only the controllers with no external dependencies. So this means that we have to provide a configuration so that our controllers will know where to get their dependencies. Here I will create a nutrition table, which will be basically a map that will map the names of ingredients to their respective kilocalories per 100 grams. And now our bean will just return the new nutrition service, and for the provider we will use a lambda function that maps the name to a nutrition information which it will take from the map or from our nutrition table. And this is the whole configuration. We have one bean. So now we need to instantiate, we need to get our mock MVC. We will use this for interaction with our controller. And now we are ready to write our tests. Our first test will check if the calculated kilocalories per serving are what we expect. And our request now needs to be a JSON string. For this, we will use the Java multi-line string, which is very convenient because when we use this, we don't have to escape identifiers like quotes. We can just use the quotes, the double quotes, directly in our multi-line string. So here we have declared 2 ingredients, and now for the serving size, it will be 2 servings. And this is our JSON request that we will post to our controller. And to do this, we use the perform method on mock MVC. And here we have a huge library of mock MVC request builders. For this, we want to use the post, and here use our path to the controller. Because we are posting JSON data, we need to tell mock MVC that we are using JSON. So we add content type, application JSON, and now we can add our content. After this perform, we can now add our assertions, and our assertions we will use mock MVC result matchers. And here we can assert that the content in JSON form is equal to the supplied JSON. So let's do this. So what we expect here is the number of kilocalories per serving. And what is our expected value? Well, we can do a quick calculation. We have carrots, 200 grams, so we have 2 times 33, and from apple we have 50 times 0.4, so that gives us 66 plus 20, 86. And because we have 2 servings, then our kilocalories per serving is 43. Now we have to just rethrow the exceptions from the test, and we can check if our test passes. As we can see, the test passes. If we want to have more information about the data, then we can also add logging here. With this call to mock MVC result handler sprint, we will now get a nice information in our test about everything: the request, the handler, the response, and we see that everything is like we expected. One more thing about the JSON assertion in the mock MVC result matchers content is that it accepts a second parameter, which is a strict mode. By default, it is to false, and if we change it to true, it will change the way that the library compares these JSONs. In the true mode, in the strict mode, the comparison is more like an equal comparison, so all the properties of the 2 objects must match. In a non-strict mode, the comparison is more like contains comparison, so all it needs is for the actual object to contain all of these properties. So if we now set it to true, that should not change anything in our test, no impact. But suppose we would like to add some more information to our response. So let's say that instead of only kilocalories per serving, we want to return also the total number of kilocalories. And now we need to change our service. And if we run this test with the strict mode enabled, then we will see that the test fails. The test fails because the total kilocalories is unexpected. And basically in our test, we don't want this kind of behavior because the fact that I have added a new field to our JSON shouldn't make us modify the existing test cases, because the behavior defined by this test case to calculate kilocalories per serving is still implemented. So if we remove this strict mode and rerun our test, then we see that the test passes, and for checking if the total kilocalories is returning properly, we just need to make a new test, which is logical as this is different functionality than returning kilocalories per serving. And this concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon on my channel. And if you would have any questions, or if you would like me to cover some specific topic regarding practical unit testing, feel free to let me know in the comments section. Thank you and bye.